Alright, people, a new year has begun, and as 2023 begins, it is time to take a look forward to see all the great films that are coming out this year. 2022 was a great year for movies. Of course, check out my top 10 movies of 2022, as well as top 10 series of 2022. But now we're talking about top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023, because we got a lot of big ones here. Some probably there's some that I'm even forgetting about. But these are the 10 that I am most excited for. Of course, let me know your 10 most excited, most anticipated films of 2023 down in the comments below. But let's waste no more time. Let's jump into this and break down my top 10 most anticipated films of 2023. So starting off number 10 with the Marvels. Of course, gotta have all the Marvel MCU movies on here. And this is the one I'm definitely least excited for because, I like Captain Marvel, both the character and the movie. And I'm really excited for the fact that we're getting the team up of the Marvels. I loved Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, so I'm excited to see more of her, especially now becoming a superhero. I really enjoyed Kamala Khan as a character in the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series, so I'm really excited to see those two characters come together to the big screen for this film. But the reason it's at the bottom of the list is just because we really don't know, anything about this movie. I was just seeing a report earlier today about how people inside Disney and Marvel Studios are really excited about this one, and then it's probably going to be like a surprise hit for 2023, which sounds great. That really reassures my feelings for this film, but still, there's just not enough known about this movie to get me hyped up about it. We don't know anything about the villains or the plot. Pretty much all we have to go on with the plot is just the fact that, from the Ms. Marvel post-credit scene, that she and Carol swap places. So I guess that's cool. But other than that, we don't know anything at all about this movie. So that's why it's at number 10 on this list. But number 9 is going to be, of course, Barbie. How can you not be excited for Barbie? It's Margot Robbie. First of all, perfect casting right there. She's gorgeous as Barbie. We got our first teaser trailer, pretty recently, which actually looked quite interesting. We got Ryan Gosling as Ken. Simu Liu is in here as well. I believe Issa Rae. So it's pretty crazy cast. Also really don't know much about this. But it's kind of like a meme to be excited for this movie, but at the same time, I actually kind of am excited for this movie. I've never played with Barbies, but it looks like it's going to be definitely a fun movie. And this summer, it's going to be going up against Oppenheimer, which I'm excited for Oppenheimer as well, just because of the crazy cast. But, I watched the trailer. It looked kind of boring to me, honestly. So I'm definitely more excited for Barbie. But number 8 on the list is going to be Aquaman 2, aka Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I love the first Aquaman movie. But, when it comes to DC movies next year, it's a big question mark. Because we do not know what is going to be happening, with the future. Of course, the big rumor is that we're getting rebooted, and that this is all going to be going basically nowhere. So that kind of it puts a bit of a hesitation on this film, and all the DC films next year. I can't believe I forgot to put The Flash on this list, but actually, I might be even more excited for The Flash, but just pretend that's here. But Aquaman, I'm really excited for Aquaman, though. Jason Momoa, of course, perfect cast. We got Yahya Abdul-Mateen II becoming the main villain as Black Manta here. So I'm really excited to see that return to the world of Atlantis in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. But then number 7 on the list is going to be Disney Pixar's Elemental. I'm a huge fan of Disney Pixar, and Elemental, we got a brief teaser trailer, and it just looks really interesting. I'm a big fan of rom-coms as well, and it seems like that's kind of what this is going to be. Kind of the two opposite ends of the spectrum, fire and water. It's this tragic love story. So I'm really excited to see that, and just the kind of the world of elements is something I'm really excited to see. It was really interesting seeing the little bits and pieces there in that teaser trailer, but definitely really excited for Elemental. Number 6 on the list is going to be Creed 3, which is an interesting one for me because I have not seen any of the other Creed movies or any of the other Rocky movies. But I do plan on watching those before I see Creed 3. But I just watched the trailer for Creed 3, and it just looks really interesting. It looks like a really compelling story. Michael B. Jordan is making his directorial debut here alongside starring in the film. Jonathan Majors is ripped, and he looks like he is going to be a great villain for this film. Then coming up in at number 5 is going to be Disney's live action The Little Mermaid. Of course, we're always getting these Disney live action remakes. The Little Mermaid has always been one of my favorites, so I'm really excited to see how this one is brought to life. Halle Bailey, I think, is great casting in the role. We just got a brief snippet and look at her in the very, very teaser trailer at D23, I believe, or maybe it was CCXP. But either way, we got our first look at it. It looks like it's going to be a great film. I'm really excited to see what some of these other, what some of the animal characters like Flounder and Sebastian are going to look like. I honestly don't even know who else is cast in the film. I remember Harry Styles was almost in it, but then he wasn't. So I'm just really excited for this one. I'm really excited to see The Little Mermaid. Number 4 on the list is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Of course, this is going to be our first MCU film of 2023 coming out actually next month in February. I've always loved Ant-Man, the Ant-Man franchise in the MCU. It's always been one of the smaller ones, more of the family-centered comedic franchise of the MCU. So it's always been on a smaller scale. But this is going to be the Avengers-level Ant-Man movie. Of course, also the third movie in the trilogy. So it's going to be a pretty big one. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, plus also Scott's daughter, Cassie, is now all grown up, and she's going to be becoming Stature. And we are going deep into the quantum realm for this film, which is something I'm really excited about. We're getting some great villains here, with, of course, Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. He looked great in that trailer, as well as also MODOK. How can you not be excited for MODOK? And with this being the third and final film in the trilogy, high stakes. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Is somebody going to die? Of course, with this being the kind of debut of Kang the Conqueror in the MCU, obviously some big things are going to be set up here for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Number 3 on the list has got to be DC's Blue Beetle. This is by far my most anticipated DC movie of 2023 because, again, like I said, all the DC movies are kind of in question, but Blue Beetle is kind of the one that's separate. It's supposed to be set in the DCU, but it can also get away with not being it. So this could possibly even be like our first official film of this new rebooted DCU universe. But even aside from that, I've just always loved the character Blue Beetle. I grew up watching him in Batman the Brave and the Bold. I've always loved this character. Jaime Reyes, great character, great hero. To be bringing to the screen a teenage Latino superhero, I think, is a great thing. I mean, you see the suit here. The set photos we've seen with that suit just look beautiful. Ripped straight from the comics. We have Cholamer Dueña in the lead role as Jaime Reyes, which is just absolutely perfect casting. I love him from Cobra Kai. We also got George Lopez in here, which he's also been getting some praise from the test screen as well. So Blue Beetle, I'm so excited for this one. But number 2 is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is going to be a really sad one. The Guardians of the Galaxy, before that first movie, who ever heard of them? I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard of them because I saw them, once in Ultimate Spider-Man, but I never really cared about them as characters. But then we got that movie, and you just fell in love with not only this team, but this family of misfits and now heroes. And you've seen their journey throughout the MCU, not only in the first 2 Guardians films, but also Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame and Thor: Love and Thunder, and now even more recently with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which was just amazing. And now we're closing it all off with Volume 3 here in May, and like I said, it's going to be a tearjerker because James Gunn has said time and time again that this is going to be the end of this iteration of the Guardians. Some of them are going to die. Some of them will survive, but we'll never see them again. And the Guardians will be moving on in the MCU with a different lineup. So it's just going to be really sad to have to say goodbye to these characters, but I'm so excited to see this. We got that teaser trailer, just really set the mood. The soundtrack, of course, James Gunn is always a master with the soundtrack, so I'm really excited to see that as well. James Gunn is one of my favorite directors. I love what he's been able to do over at DC, and so I'm excited to see his kind of a send-off for the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a tearjerker, so you got to break the tissues, but I'm so excited for Volume 3. But my number 1 most anticipated film of 2023 has to be Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Because, how can this not be? That first movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, was such a huge surprise. Nobody thought it was going to be amazing, but it ended up being one of the best Spider-Man films of all time. And I just rewatched it recently and just fell in love with it all over again. It's just such a good movie. And this film, we know that we're taking Miles and Gwen and all of our other various characters across the Spider-Verse this time. We're fighting the Spot. We got Miguel O'Hara in here, Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac. We got Spider-Woman. We got the return of Spectacular Spider-Man, Josh Keaton. Just so excited for that. And who knows who else? I mean, there's rumors Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland could show up here. We got the PS4 Spider-Man variant. We got the 90s animated Christopher Daniel Barnes version of Spider-Man. There's just so many possibilities with this film, and it's going to be followed up with a direct sequel, because this is originally Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and 2, but Part 2, Beyond the Spider-Verse, comes out in March of next year, so it's going to be a 1-2 punch with these films, and I'm just so excited. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to end off on some big cliffhanger, but this is definitely going to be the big movie right there at the beginning of June. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are my top 10 most anticipated films of 2023. Like I said, it's going to be a great year for movies. It's going to be a great year for series as well. But I'm just so excited. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your top 10 most anticipated films of 2023? So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything goes on in the movie life.